What if I told you that the real millionaires don't live in luxury mansions or drive the latest sports cars? In fact, most of them live right next door, quietly building wealth while everyone else is trying to look rich. Welcome to the Millionaire Next Door, a book that reveals the surprising secrets of America's truly wealthy people. What comes to your mind when you hear the word millionaire? Fancy cars, big mansions, expensive designer clothes? Well, what if I told you that the real millionaires, the ones who actually have money, don't live like that at all? They might be living right next door to you and you'd never even know it. That's right. In this chapter, Meet the Millionaire Next Door, we'll uncover how ordinary people quietly build extraordinary wealth. The authors Thomas Stanley and William Danko didn't just write opinions, they conducted years of research. They interviewed and surveyed thousands of millionaires across America to find out how they really live. And the results shocked everyone. Most millionaires weren't celebrities, tech founders, or Wall Street geniuses. They were teachers, engineers, small business owners, farmers, and shopkeepers. Regular people who lived simple lives. They didn't live in luxury neighborhoods, they lived in ordinary homes, drove used cars, and often bought discounted groceries. In fact, many of them were so low profile that their neighbors had no idea they were millionaires. One quote from the book says it perfectly. Most people have it all wrong about wealth. They think wealth is the same as income, but wealth is what you accumulate, not what you spend. The authors found a powerful truth. High income doesn't mean you're rich. There are people who earn lakhs or even crores a month, but have no savings. They spend everything to maintain a lifestyle. Luxury cars, branded clothes, fancy restaurants. But inside, they're financially empty. On the other hand, millionaires often earn less than what people expect, but they save and invest most of it. They focus on net worth, not show-off worth. That's why the book calls them the Millionaire Next Door, because they look so normal, they blend in. Their wealth grows quietly in the background while others try to look successful. Lesson 1. Stop trying to look rich. Start working to become rich. So what do these millionaires actually do differently? They follow a simple formula. Spend less than you earn and invest the difference. Sounds boring, right? But that's exactly what works. They create budgets. They track every rupee. They don't waste money on things that don't bring long-term value. They buy reliable used cars instead of new luxury ones. They choose functional homes instead of giant houses they can't maintain. They avoid debt unless it helps them grow, like buying assets or investing in business. Their goal is freedom, not flexing. And here's the interesting part. These people don't just save randomly, they have a plan. They invest in stocks, real estate, retirement accounts, or small businesses. They make their money work for them even while they sleep. Over time, their small, consistent actions compound into massive wealth. Remember this. Becoming rich isn't about making one big move. It's about making small, smart choices every single day. Let's talk about their lifestyle, because this is where things get interesting. While others spend weekends at malls buying the latest gadgets, millionaires focus on long-term goals. They value time with family, peace of mind, and financial freedom more than status symbols. They don't need to prove anything to anyone. Their happiness doesn't come from showing off, it comes from control over their life. They know something most people forget. When you spend too much trying to look rich, you actually lose the freedom that real wealth can give you. Freedom is driving a car that's paid off. Freedom is sleeping peacefully without EMI stress. Freedom is having enough savings to say no to things that don't serve your goals. That's what the Millionaire Next Door lives for. In this first chapter, the authors introduce a fascinating concept: how to know if you're on track to becoming wealthy. They say, multiply your age by your annual income and divide it by 10. The result is your expected net worth. For example, if you're 40 years old and earn 10 lakhs per year, 40 into 10 lakhs equals 4 crore rupees. Divide that by 10 equals 40 lakh rupees. If your net worth is more than 40 lakh rupees, congratulations, you're ahead of the curve. If it's less, You may be overspending or undersaving. This formula helps you see your true financial progress, not your lifestyle progress. The Millionaire Next Door isn't loud, flashy, or trending on social media. They're quietly doing what most people won't: saving, investing, and growing in the background. They're disciplined. They make sacrifices today for a better tomorrow. They focus on what matters, not what looks good. They know that real wealth is measured in freedom, not fame. Their story is not about luck, it's about consistent choices over time. They prove that you don't need to be born rich, you just need to think differently about money. So after reading chapter 1, one thing becomes clear. Real millionaires aren't chasing luxury, they're chasing freedom. They live simply, think smart, and let time and discipline do the magic. But wait, if that's true, then why don't most people follow the same path? What stops ordinary people from becoming wealthy even when the formula is so simple? That's what we'll uncover in the next chapter, Frugal, 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 where we'll see how millionaires master the art of saving, spending wisely, and building true financial independence. Make sure you stick around because the next secret might completely change how you look at money. In the last chapter, we discovered that most millionaires don't look rich. They act rich in silence. But what's that biggest secret ingredient? It's not luck. It's not inheritance. It's something most people ignore: frugality. Welcome to chapter 2, Frugal, 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 where we'll uncover how millionaires master the art of saving, spending wisely, and building true financial independence. Many people think being frugal means being cheap, but there's a huge difference. Being cheap means cutting corners. Being frugal means being smart with your money. Millionaires don't avoid spending altogether, they just make sure every rupee they spend gives them real value. One line from the book sums it up perfectly. You can't accumulate wealth if you spend more than you earn. So instead of focusing on earning more and more, they first master the art of keeping what they earn. Let's talk about how millionaires think about money. They don't see money as something to spend, they see it as a tool for freedom. When they earn 100 rupees, they don't think, what can I buy? They think, how can I make this 100 rupees grow? This small mindset change changes everything. They have a rule. Every rupee has a job. Either it works for me or it's wasted. So before they buy anything, a phone, a car, or even a new shirt, they ask, do I really need this, or am I just trying to impress someone? That's what separates PAWs, prodigious accumulators of wealth, from UAWs, under accumulators of wealth, which is a key concept from the book.
The authors divided people into two groups based on how they handle money. PAWs, prodigious accumulators of wealth. These are people who save and invest far more than the average person. They live below their means and focus on building wealth. They think long term. They're the true millionaires next door. UAWs, under accumulators of wealth. These people might earn well, sometimes even better than PAWs, but they spend it all. They chase luxury, status, and lifestyle. They look rich, but inside, they're financially weak. Here's the interesting part. Many UAWs are doctors, lawyers, and executives. People with high incomes but no savings. They buy expensive cars, big houses, and designer brands just to keep up appearances. The authors wrote, "The glittering rich often have little real wealth, only glitter." One of the most powerful habits of the wealthy is living below their means. They don't spend more just because they earn more. Their lifestyle stays almost the same even when income rises. They don't upgrade every year. They don't chase trends. They understand that every unnecessary purchase slows down their journey to financial freedom. They ask one key question before buying anything. Will this increase my wealth or decrease it? If the answer is decrease, they skip it, no matter how tempting it looks. That's how they build wealth quietly year after year. You know what's funny? Most millionaires don't drive luxury cars. According to the book's data, the most popular car brand among millionaires was Toyota, not BMW or Mercedes. They buy cars that are reliable, efficient, and long-lasting, not flashy. Why? Because they understand depreciation. The moment you drive a luxury car out of the showroom, its value drops fast. Instead of losing money on image, they invest that money in assets like property, stocks, or business growth that increase in value. Rich people buy assets, poor people buy liabilities. Robert Kiyosaki once said it, and this book proves it. Millionaires believe that comfort and happiness come from contentment, not consumption. They don't compare themselves to neighbors. They don't fall for marketing traps. They buy only what they need, and that's why they're always in control. A fascinating stat from the book. Most millionaires have lived in the same house for over 20 years. They don't keep moving just to upgrade. Their houses are not showpieces. They're practical, affordable, and often paid off. This lifestyle choice reduces debt, stress, and financial pressure, allowing them to save and invest even more. Many millionaires are small business owners, plumbers, electricians, shopkeepers, and contractors. You know what's common among them? They run their business like they run their life, frugally. They keep expenses low. They focus on profits, not appearances. They don't rent fancy offices or buy expensive equipment unless it's necessary. They know that a business grows through discipline and reinvestment, not showing off success too early. That's why their businesses survive long-term while others go bankrupt chasing status. Here's the real beauty of frugality. It gives you freedom. When you control your spending, you don't need to work overtime to pay for unnecessary luxuries. You don't depend on debt. You can take risks, change jobs, or even start a business because you have savings to support you. Millionaires use frugality as a tool to buy time, peace, and options. It's not about living poor, it's about living smart. As the authors wrote, the foundation stone of wealth accumulation is defense, and the cornerstone of the defense is frugality. Frugality is not about saying no to life, it's about saying yes to your financial freedom. So now we know the secret behind most millionaires isn't magic, it's math. They're not obsessed with earning more, they're obsessed with keeping more. They live simply, think long-term, and let time multiply their money. Thinking, but here's something interesting. If frugality is so powerful, then how do millionaires actually measure whether they're truly rich or not? Is there a formula or system they follow to know if they're on track? That's exactly what we'll uncover in the next chapter, the wealth formula, where you learn how millionaires calculate their true financial position and what number truly defines wealth. Don't miss it, because once you understand this formula, you'll never look at money the same way again. In the last chapter, we learned how millionaires master the art of frugality, how they live below their means, save smart, and invest wisely. But here's a question. How do they actually measure their success? How do they know if they're truly wealthy or just earning a good income? Welcome to Chapter 3 of the Millionaire Next Door, the Wealth Formula, where you'll discover a simple but powerful rule that millionaires use to calculate their true financial position. Most people measure wealth by income. How much do you make per month? But millionaires measure wealth differently. How much do you keep and grow over time? The authors Thomas J. Stanley and William Danko noticed that income alone doesn't predict wealth. Some people earning rupees 20 lakhs a year are broke, while others earning rupees 8 lakhs a year quietly become millionaires. So, they created a formula, a test, to see who's truly on the right track. Here's the formula the authors discovered. Your expected net worth is equal to your age multiplied by your annual income, divided by 10. This gives you the expected wealth for your age and income level. Let's understand with an example. Suppose you're 40 years old and your annual income is rupees 10 lakhs. So, 40 into 10 lakhs is equal to 4 crores. Now divided by 10, rupees 40 lakhs. That means ideally at age 40, with a 10 lakh annual income, your net worth should be around 40 lakhs. Now if your net worth is higher than that, congratulations, you're a PAW, a prodigious accumulator of wealth. If your net worth is lower, you're a UAW, under accumulator of wealth. This is where things get interesting. When the authors applied this formula to thousands of people, they found two clear categories. POWs, prodigious accumulators of wealth. These are people who live frugally, invest early, and save consistently. They might not have huge incomes, but they build massive net worth over time. They make their money work for them through investments, businesses, and assets. They rarely fall into debt, and they plan every expense with a purpose. Their focus is net worth, not status. UAWs are under-accumulators of wealth. These people earn well, sometimes even better than POWs, but they spend it all. They chase luxury, status, and lifestyle. They look rich, but inside they're financially weak. The book says it perfectly. UAWs are high-income earners who are poor savers. They are victims of lifestyle inflation.
They constantly increase their spending as their income grows, and that's what keeps them trapped financially no matter how much they earn. Millionaires don't chase temporary pleasure, they chase long-term security. They use the wealth formula not just as a number, but as a mirror. It helps them see if they're living up to their financial potential. They know that money saved today becomes financial freedom tomorrow. So instead of comparing themselves to others, they compare themselves to their own goals. They ask, how much wealth should I have by now? Am I growing faster than I was 5 years ago? This mindset keeps them disciplined, motivated, and focused on the long game. Imagine two people, Raj and Arjun. Both are 35 years old and earn 15 lakh rupees per year. Raj lives modestly. He saves 30% of his income, invests in mutual funds and real estate, and drives a used car. On the other hand, Arjun lives in a fancy apartment, drives a luxury car on EMI, and spends on branded clothes and gadgets. Now, according to the wealth formula, 35 into 15 lakh equals to 5.25 crore rupees. Divided by 10 equals to 52.5 lakh rupees. Raj's net worth is 70 lakhs. He's a PAW. Arjun's net worth is only 15 lakhs. He's a UAW. Both earn the same, but their mindset makes the difference. Raj will retire rich, Arjun will retire worried. This formula works because it focuses on what you own, not what you earn. It doesn't care how fancy your life looks on Instagram. It only measures what's real, your assets minus your liabilities. Millionaires love this formula because it's like a financial scoreboard. It shows how efficiently they're converting income into wealth. And here's the truth. Most wealthy people love numbers. They track their net worth regularly, just like a business tracks profit. Quote, if you don't measure your money, you can't manage your money. The authors suggest making this formula personal. Use it as a guide to set financial goals. Calculate your expected net worth. Compare it with your actual net worth. Create a plan to close that gap over the next 3 to 5 years. If you're behind, don't panic. Start with small, consistent changes. 1. Cut unnecessary expenses. 2. Increase savings by even 5 to 10%. 3. Invest wisely, not emotionally. 4. Avoid debt that doesn't grow assets. Every little step compounds over time, and that's how you move from a UAW to a PAW. The key message from this chapter is crystal clear. Being rich is not about how much money comes in, it's about how much stays. Millionaires are efficient wealth builders. They use every rupee to move closer to financial independence. They don't waste energy trying to impress people. They let numbers, not noise, define their success. Their wealth formula isn't just math, it's a mindset. It teaches them discipline, patience, and focus. So, what did we learn today? That real millionaires don't measure their life by their salary slips. They measure it by their net worth. They follow a simple formula, live below their means, and build wealth one smart decision at a time. But here's a question for you. If millionaires are so disciplined with their money, how do they pass this mindset to their kids? Because one mistake, easy money, can destroy everything. In the next chapter, Raising the Next Generation, we'll see how millionaires teach their children the value of money, hard work, and independence. And trust me, what you learn there might completely change how you think about parenting and wealth. Don't miss it, the next secret will surprise you. We've learned that most millionaires don't live flashy lives. They build wealth quietly, live below their means, and measure success with smart formulas. But here's something even more powerful. What happens when these millionaires have children? Do their kids grow up rich, responsible, and hardworking? Or do they lose everything because they never learn the value of money? Idea. In this chapter, Raising the Next Generation, we'll uncover how real millionaires teach their children not just to inherit money, but to inherit mindset. Every rich parent faces one big challenge. How can I make sure that my children don't become spoiled by wealth? The authors Thomas Stanley and William Danko found that this was one of the biggest worries among self-made millionaires. They worked hard all their lives to build wealth from nothing, but they realized that if their children didn't learn discipline, responsibility, and work ethic, that wealth could disappear in just one generation. So they follow a golden rule. Never give your children money without teaching them how to handle it. The authors introduced a concept called economic outpatient care, or EOC for short. Sounds fancy, right? But it's simple. It means giving financial help to adult children, like paying their bills, giving them houses, cars, or monthly allowances when they truly don't need it. Millionaires found that this kind of help often backfires. Instead of empowering kids, it makes them dependent. Quote, "When you give your children everything, you take away their reason to grow." Children who receive too much economic help often spend more than they earn, avoid taking risks, depend on their parents even as adults, never learn how to manage money. Quote, the authors warn, "Economic outpatient care often destroys ambition and financial independence." Millionaires know that financial education starts early, long before their children earn their first paycheck. Instead of giving pocket money freely, they give it with purpose. They connect it to responsibility, maybe chores, goals, or school performance. They teach their kids how to earn money, save money, and spend thoughtfully. They talk about money openly, not as a taboo subject, but as a tool for independence. For example, a millionaire father might say, "If you want a new phone, you can save half from your own pocket money and I'll match the other half." This simple rule teaches kids two lessons at once: discipline and patience. Most millionaire kids don't grow up in luxury. They grow up watching their parents work hard, make sacrifices, and stay humble.
The authors found that many millionaire parents deliberately encouraged their children to work part-time jobs, even during high school or college. It wasn't about the money, it was about building character. One of the millionaires said, "My kids started working at 16. They learned that nothing in life comes easy, and that's the best inheritance I can give them." This mindset builds confidence and independence, two traits that money can never buy. One common trait among self-made millionaires is this: they don't raise their kids in luxury, even if they can afford it. They live in ordinary neighborhoods, send their children to public schools, and teach them to value effort over comfort. They believe luxury too early kills ambition. If kids grow up thinking life is always easy, they never learn how to fight for their dreams. That's why millionaire parents keep their lifestyles simple and grounded. They want their kids to understand, you're not rich. We built this wealth, and you'll have to build your own. The smartest millionaires believe the real inheritance is not cash, but character. They pass down habits, not handouts. They teach their kids how to budget, how to save, how to invest, and most importantly, how to think long-term. They make them understand the difference between needs and wants, between spending and investing. Because at the end of the day, anyone can spend money, but it takes discipline and wisdom to grow it. That's what separates self-made families from families that lose their wealth in one generation. Have you ever heard of the 3-generation rule? It says the first generation builds wealth, the second generation enjoys it, the third generation loses it. The authors found this pattern true in many wealthy families. Why? Because the first generation had hunger, the second generation had comfort, and the third often had dependency. But families who follow the Millionaire Next Door mindset break this rule because they don't pass wealth without passing wisdom. They make sure every child knows how hard money is to earn and how easy it is to lose. Whether you're a parent, future parent, or just someone building wealth, you can learn from these millionaire habits. 1. Don't spoil with money. Teach value instead. 2. Let kids work, fail, and learn responsibility. 3. Talk about money. Don't make it a secret. 4. Teach saving and investing early. 5. Show discipline through your own lifestyle. Remember, kids learn more from what you do than what you say. If they see you saving, they'll learn to save. If they see you avoiding debt, they'll learn discipline. You don't need to be a millionaire to teach millionaire values. You just need to live by example. So, what did we learn from Chapter 4? That the richest gift you can give your kids isn't money, it's mindset. Real millionaires raise their children to be independent, disciplined, and smart with every decision. But now that we know how millionaires think and raise their families, here's a question. If they don't rely on inheritance or luck, how exactly do they build that wealth in the first place? What are the real sources of their income and success? That's exactly what we'll uncover in the next chapter, Millionaires Don't Rely on Luck, where you'll learn the truth about how they earn, invest, and multiply their money over time. Stay tuned because the next secret is where the real journey to wealth begins. We often say, "He's so lucky, he became a millionaire." But what if I told you, luck has almost nothing to do with it? In this chapter, Millionaires Don't Rely on Luck, you'll discover that real wealth isn't a lottery win or a miracle moment. It's a result of long-term thinking, consistent discipline, and daily habits that anyone can practice, even you. Most people believe that rich people are just lucky. Lucky to have been born in the right family. Lucky to get a good job. Lucky to start a business at the right time. But Thomas Stanley and William Danko's research shows a very different story. 80% of millionaires in America are self-made. They didn't inherit their money, they earned it. They weren't born rich, they became rich through choices, sacrifices, and habits that they repeated for years. One of the millionaires interviewed said, "If luck made people rich, everyone who won the lottery would stay rich. But they don't because wealth without discipline never lasts." Here's one major difference between average people and millionaires. Average people think about this month. Millionaires think about the next 10 years. They don't make financial decisions emotionally, they make them strategically. When they invest, they don't expect instant results. They know compounding takes time, and patience is their biggest strength. In fact, many of them say, "I never chase quick money. I build slow, steady, reliable money." Millionaires don't sit around waiting for good fortune. They focus on what they can control: their work ethic, spending habits, education, and relationships. They know the economy, the stock market, or politics will always change, but their discipline stays constant. For example, they can't control when a recession happens, but they can control how much they save. They can't control job losses in their industry, but they can build multiple income streams. They turn uncertainty into opportunity, not by wishing for luck, but by preparing for it. As one millionaire put it, luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Millionaires are laser-focused. They don't try to do everything. They do one thing really well. Most of them build wealth in a single career or business field. They specialize instead of jumping from one idea to another. The authors found that the majority of millionaires are business owners, professionals, or specialists in a narrow area. They use their expertise to create value, and that's where the money follows. One millionaire said, "I didn't get rich from luck. I got rich from doing one thing for 25 years better than anyone else I know." That's consistency, not chance.
Here's the simplest yet most ignored truth. Millionaires don't become rich by earning more, but by keeping more. They live below their means always. They don't increase expenses when income increases. Instead, they save and invest the difference. This habit turns into compound wealth over time. Think of it like planting a tree. You water it daily, not expecting shade tomorrow, but one day it grows into something massive. That's how millionaire wealth grows, slowly but surely. Most people fall into a trap called lifestyle inflation. When income rises, spending rises too. They buy bigger homes, flashier cars, and expensive clothes. But millionaires avoid this trap like a disease. They know luxury is not a symbol of wealth. It's often a killer of wealth. The authors note, many people who look rich are actually poor, and many people who look ordinary are secretly millionaires. So while others show off success, real millionaires build freedom. They care more about net worth than showing worth. Millionaires never stop learning, even after they become rich. They read books, study their industries, analyze markets, and learn from failures. They treat education as an investment, not an expense. In fact, the authors found that the average millionaire reads at least one book a month related to finance, business, or self-improvement. They believe growth is endless, and that mindset keeps them ahead. As one millionaire said, "My greatest investment wasn't in stocks or real estate, it was in knowledge." Here's the real secret. Millionaires create their own luck. They prepare, they plan, they take calculated risks. So when an opportunity comes, they're ready for it. People call it luck, but it's really just preparation meeting timing. Think of it like this. If two people walk into the same room full of opportunity, the one who's ready will walk out rich. The other will call it bad luck. The difference? Preparation. Millionaires rarely blame others. They don't say, "The system is unfair," or "I never got my chance." They make their own chances. They believe that every small decision, every saved dollar, every learned skill adds up. Because success doesn't happen overnight. It happens every day in small, quiet moments of discipline. Don't wish for luck, they say. Work so hard that luck doesn't matter. So what's the takeaway from Chapter 5? If you want to build wealth like a millionaire, stop waiting for a miracle. Start building systems, habits, and discipline. Do what they do. Focus on what you can control. Master one skill or business. Live below your means. Keep learning and improving. Take action every day. Because the truth is, luck is temporary. Habits are permanent. So now you know, millionaires don't rely on luck. They rely on habits, patience, and focus. They don't wish for wealth, they build it, one smart choice at a time. But here's a question that might surprise you. If these millionaires live so simply and quietly, how do they actually spend their money? What do their budgets, investments, and daily lives really look like? In the next chapter, The Millionaire's Budgeting Secrets will uncover how the truly wealthy plan their money, where they spend it, and how budgeting helps them stay rich, even when they don't have to. We've seen how millionaires think long-term, live below their means, and never rely on luck. But here's a question. If they have so much money, why do they still budget so carefully? In this chapter, The Millionaire's Budgeting Secrets will uncover how the truly wealthy plan their money, where they spend it, and how budgeting helps them stay rich, even when they don't have to. Most people think budgeting is for the poor or for those struggling to make ends meet. But the truth is, millionaires are obsessed with budgeting. They know exactly where their money goes. They track their income, expenses, savings, and investments every month, every year. As one millionaire said, "You can't grow what you don't measure." Budgeting is not about limiting yourself, it's about controlling your future. Budgeting isn't a restriction for them, it's freedom, because when you control your money, you control your life. Here's the difference between average people and millionaires. Average people budget just to survive. Millionaires budget to build wealth. Every line in their budget connects to a goal. They don't just plan for bills and groceries, they plan for investments, business growth, and future opportunities. They treat saving as a priority expense, not an afterthought. Their mindset: save first, spend what's left, not the other way around. They make saving automatic, like a fixed bill that must be paid, to themselves. While everyone's percentages differ, most millionaires follow a simple balance. 50% or less goes to living expenses, home, food, utilities. 30% goes to investments and business growth. 20% goes to savings, charity, or emergency funds. Notice something? They invest and save as much as or more than they spend. That's the opposite of how most people live. One self-made millionaire said, "I invest before I buy. My money works harder than I do." You'd expect millionaires to live in mansions, right? Surprisingly, most don't. According to the research, the majority of millionaires live in middle-class neighborhoods, not luxury areas. They buy homes they can easily afford, often less than twice their annual income. Why? Because they know housing is one of the biggest traps for overspending. A huge house means huge taxes, maintenance, and endless upgrades. Instead, they choose comfort and value over appearance. Big houses don't make you rich, one millionaire said. They make your banker rich. Let's talk about cars, the most common way people show off wealth. But real millionaires drive used cars or reliable models, not luxury brands. The authors found that most millionaires buy cars that are 2 to 4 years old, often paid in full, not on EMI or loans. They focus on durability, not brand image. A car takes you from point A to point B, one millionaire said. It doesn't have to shout while doing it. By avoiding car loans and flashy upgrades, they save thousands every year, which they redirect into investments. Here's another powerful trait. Millionaires rarely buy things without a plan. They don't fall for sales, discounts, or emotional shopping. They follow lists, compare prices, and question every purchase. Do I really need this? They also avoid debt for lifestyle items. If they can't pay cash comfortably, they simply don't buy it. As the authors write, millionaires are not misers, they're intentional. They buy what matters, not what impresses. Millionaires also manage their time like their money. They track where it goes and cut out things that don't give value. They don't waste hours on unproductive entertainment or gossip. Instead, they schedule learning, networking, and family time.
You can always earn back money, they say, but never time. That's why their calendars are as disciplined as their budgets. The richest people plan ahead, not for next month, but for the next decade. They set clear goals. How much they want to invest this year, how much they want saved for their children's education, when they want to retire, and how much they'll need to do it comfortably. They don't depend on someday. They create a roadmap for their future, and budgeting is their steering wheel. As one millionaire said, "If you don't have a plan for your money, someone else will." Many people think budgeting limits your life, but for millionaires, it's the opposite. It unlocks life, because when they know exactly where every dollar goes, they don't stress about bills or emergencies. They can take vacations guilt-free. They can invest in opportunities quickly. They can live without fear. That's not control, that's freedom. Wealth, the authors write, is not about having more money. It's about having control over how you use it. So how can you start budgeting like a millionaire? Here are 5 easy steps. 1. Track everything. Know where every rupee or dollar goes. 2. Pay yourself first. Save before spending. 3. Live below your means, not equal to it. 4. Avoid debt, especially for lifestyle items. 5. Review monthly. Adjust your budget as your goals change. Remember, consistency beats perfection. Even small, disciplined actions build massive wealth over time. So now we know, budgeting isn't boring or restrictive. It's the tool that keeps millionaires rich, calm, and free. But there's one more fascinating truth we haven't uncovered yet. If millionaires are so good with money, how do they handle taxes? Do they pay huge amounts, or do they have smart strategies to save legally? In the next chapter, The Millionaire's Tax Secrets, we'll reveal how the wealthy protect their money, use the system smartly, and keep more of what they earn without breaking any rules. We've seen how millionaires plan, budget, and build their wealth slowly, not by luck, but by discipline. But here's something most people don't know. Millionaires don't just earn smartly, they keep their money smartly too. And one of their biggest tools, taxes. In this chapter, The Millionaire's Tax Secrets, we'll uncover how the wealthy legally protect their money, minimize taxes, and turn the system to their advantage without breaking the rules. When we think of millionaires, we imagine huge tax bills. After all, they make more, so they must pay more, right? Well, yes, but not always as much as you'd think. The authors, Thomas Stanley and William Danko, discovered something fascinating. Many self-made millionaires pay less tax percentage-wise than people with lower incomes. How? Because they plan their finances smarter. They don't cheat. They strategize. They use legal tax-saving methods, smart investments, and careful planning to keep more of what they earn. One millionaire said, "The key is not to hide money, it's to make your money work in ways the government rewards." Most people fear taxes because they don't understand them. Millionaires study them. They know which expenses are deductible, which investments are tax efficient, and which business structures save the most. For example, many millionaires own small businesses or real estate, and both come with tax benefits. They can deduct costs like business travel, office equipment, training or education, even part of their home, if used for business. These aren't tricks, they're legal incentives created to encourage entrepreneurship and investment. As the authors write, millionaires don't avoid taxes by hiding money, they avoid unnecessary taxes by understanding money. Here's another simple yet powerful secret. Millionaires prefer to own assets instead of renting or borrowing. Why? Because ownership often brings tax benefits. When they buy a home, they can deduct mortgage interest or property taxes. When they own investments, they can defer or lower capital gains taxes by holding them long term. They use every advantage the law allows, patiently and strategically. One millionaire put it perfectly. Renters pay bills, owners collect benefits. Many millionaires build wealth through small businesses, not just salaries, and that gives them even more control over taxes. As business owners, they can deduct legitimate business expenses, choose when to take income or reinvest profits, build retirement accounts that grow tax-free. They know the power of owning something, not just working for someone. When you work for a company, you pay taxes first and spend what's left. When you own the company, you spend first and pay taxes on what's left. That's a mindset shift most people never think about. Millionaires don't just save money, they invest in tax-efficient ways. They focus on long-term investments like index funds, real estate, and retirement accounts, where taxes are lower or deferred. They hold investments longer to qualify for lower capital gains tax rates instead of paying high short-term taxes. And they understand a key principle. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. By investing patiently and wisely, they let compounding and smart tax planning grow their wealth quietly. Millionaires don't try to do everything themselves. They hire accountants, financial advisors, and tax planners who understand the system deeply. They see this not as an expense, but as an investment, because one smart tax strategy can save thousands every year. "You wouldn't do your own surgery," one millionaire joked, "so why do your own taxes when you can afford an expert?" They use professionals to find legal ways to keep more of their money and to avoid costly mistakes. Many millionaires are surprisingly generous, and their giving also helps them save on taxes. They donate strategically to causes they care about, and in return, they get tax deductions. But here's the truth. Most of them don't give to save taxes, they give because they can. Their wealth allows them to make a difference, and the tax benefit is just a bonus. As the authors write, generosity and intelligence often go hand in hand. By giving back, millionaires create both emotional and financial wealth. Average people think about taxes only when filing returns. Millionaires think about taxes all year long. They track expenses, plan investments, and adjust budgets continuously, so when tax time comes, they're ready. They don't rush in April, they prepare in January. If you wait till tax season to think about taxes, you've already lost. Their secret is proactive planning, not last-minute panic. Millionaires don't complain about taxes, they play the game better. They see it as a system of rules. If you understand the rules, you can win legally and fairly. They think like chess players. Every financial move is planned several steps ahead.
They know how to structure income, leverage deductions, and invest for long-term efficiency. The tax system rewards planners, they say, so plan smarter. You don't need millions to apply these lessons. Here's how you can start thinking like a millionaire today. 1. Learn basic tax rules in your country. Know what's deductible. 2. If you have a small business, track every expense. 3. Invest for the long term, not quick profits. 4. Consider consulting a tax expert annually. 5. Keep records and plan ahead, not at the last minute. Small steps today can save big money tomorrow. So, what did we learn? Millionaires don't avoid taxes. They understand them. They don't complain about the system. They study it and use it wisely. But that brings us to an even more interesting question. If these millionaires are so careful, so disciplined, and so strategic, what truly motivates them? Is it money, freedom, family, or something deeper? In the next chapter, The Real Motivation Behind Millionaires, we'll explore what truly drives them to work hard, live simply, and build wealth that lasts generations. We've seen how millionaires save, invest, and plan their lives wisely, but here's something deeper. If they already have enough money, why do they keep working so hard? Why do they stay humble, disciplined, and careful even after reaching success? In this chapter, The Real Motivation Behind Millionaires, we'll explore what truly drives them. And trust me, it's not greed, it's not luxury, it's something far more meaningful. Most people think millionaires are obsessed with money, but in reality, money is not their goal, it's their tool. What they truly want is freedom. Freedom to choose how they live, where they work, and how they spend their time. One millionaire said it perfectly. I don't work for money. I work so that I'll never have to work for money again. They don't want a boss controlling their time or bills controlling their keys. They build wealth so they can control their choices. That's why they keep going, even after becoming rich, because it's not about money anymore. It's about independence. Millionaires often say wealth building feels like a game, not gambling, but a game of strategy. They enjoy the process of improving, investing, and learning. They challenge themselves to grow, not just financially, but personally. Making money isn't exciting, one self-made millionaire said. Becoming better at it is. They measure success not by how much they earn, but how much they learn. Every new goal, every challenge becomes part of their story of growth. That's why even after achieving financial freedom, they keep working, not out of need, but passion. For many millionaires, motivation comes from one powerful source: family. They want to give their children better opportunities than they had. They want to ensure security for their parents, spouse, and loved ones. But here's the difference. They don't spoil their family with money, they protect them with stability. One millionaire shared, "My motivation isn't to buy my kids luxury, it's to give them safety, confidence, and choices." They see money as a shield, not to show off, but to safeguard those they love most.
Most millionaires are self-made. They started small, sometimes with nothing, and built everything step by step. That journey gives them immense pride. It's not the money that matters, one entrepreneur said. It's knowing I built this with my own hands. Their motivation comes from creation, not consumption. They love building something that lasts, something that represents their hard work and purpose. It's not about being rich, it's about being useful. The authors found that real millionaires are not impulsive or emotional with money. They're disciplined, and that discipline becomes their biggest strength. They see success as a daily practice, not a one-time event. Waking up early, saving consistently, staying focused, that's their real motivation. Discipline is my superpower, one millionaire smiled. Anyone can make money once. Staying wealthy takes habits. They take pride not in what they buy, but in their ability to control themselves when others can't. That's true power. Self-mastery. Surprisingly, many millionaires aren't selfish. They're generous. They donate, volunteer, and support causes they care about. They believe wealth brings responsibility, not superiority. I've been blessed, one wealthy woman said, so it's my turn to bless others. They understand that true success isn't about what you take, it's about what you give back. That's why so many of them live quietly, give anonymously, and support their communities without headlines. They're not driven by fame, but by impact. Many millionaires still remember their early struggles, the late nights, the debts, the fear of running out. And that memory stays with them, not as trauma, but as fuel. One self-made millionaire said, "I'm not afraid of losing money. I'm afraid of losing control of my life again." That fear of scarcity pushes them to stay grounded and responsible. It's why they don't waste, why they plan, why they never forget where they came from. For them, wealth is peace, and they never take it for granted. Here's the biggest truth of all. The richest people in the world don't chase money. They chase purpose. They find something they love doing, something that adds value, and they commit to it fully. Money follows purpose, not the other way around. Do what you love, they say, but do it smart, do it consistently, and do it with a goal bigger than yourself. That's why their motivation lasts forever, because it's built on meaning, not materialism. So, what can we learn from this chapter? If you want to build lasting success, stop chasing quick money. Start building purpose, freedom, and responsibility. Here's how. 1. Find your why, your reason bigger than money. 2. Use money as a tool, not your identity. 3. Stay disciplined even when no one's watching. 4. Keep learning and growing. 5. Give back. Success means more when it's shared. Because the richest life isn't measured in money, it's measured in meaning. So, what truly motivates millionaires? It's not greed, it's not luxury, it's freedom, purpose, and the pride of building something real. But now comes an even more fascinating question. If most millionaires live quietly and humbly, why do so many people who look rich, with big houses, cars, and brands, often end up broke? In the next chapter, The Illusion of Wealth, we'll expose the shocking truth behind fake rich lifestyles and how pretending to be rich keeps most people poor.
They look rich, they drive expensive cars, wear luxury watches, post vacations online, and live in big houses. But here's the shocking truth. Most of them are not millionaires. They're what the authors call the illusion of wealth. In this chapter, We'll uncover why so many people look rich but are secretly struggling, and how you can avoid this trap forever. The authors Thomas Stanley and William Danko found something surprising while studying thousands of American households. Many high-income people, doctors, executives, influencers, and even business owners spent everything they earned. Big homes, luxury cars, branded clothes, parties, they had it all. But behind the glamour, their bank accounts were empty. They live like millionaires, Stanley wrote, but they're actually one paycheck away from debt. This is the illusion of wealth. People who look rich but aren't wealthy. Here's the key lesson. Income is not the same as wealth. You can earn rupees 10 lakh a month and still be broke if you spend rupees 9.9 lakh. And you can earn 1 lakh a month and become rich if you save and invest wisely. Wealth, the authors say, is what you don't see. The car in your driveway doesn't make you rich. The money you quietly save and invest does. Real millionaires measure success not by how much they spend, but by how much they keep. One of the biggest traps of fake wealth is status spending. Many people buy big houses not because they need them, but because they want to look successful. But here's the danger. Big homes come with big EMIs, high taxes, and endless expenses. They live in expensive neighborhoods not to enjoy life, but to impress others. And the sad part? They end up surrounded by neighbors doing the same, everyone trying to look richer than the next person. It's a cycle of comparison, pressure, and debt. The book also reveals something mind-blowing about cars. Most real millionaires drive average vehicles, Toyotas, Fords, Hondas. Meanwhile, most luxury cars are owned by non-millionaires. One study found, the typical millionaire drives a 3-year-old car bought second-hand. They don't waste money on showing off. They care more about financial security than brand logos. Because the rich know, a car loses value the moment you drive it off the lot. But your savings, they gain value when you invest wisely. Today, the illusion of wealth has become even stronger thanks to social media. People post luxury vacations, designer outfits, and fancy dinners. But behind those posts, many are drowning in credit card debt. Social media, Stanley might say today, has turned the illusion of wealth into a global competition. It's no longer about living well, it's about looking like you're living well. But here's what real millionaires do differently. They don't try to impress strangers, they focus on impressing their future self. Real millionaires don't care about looking rich, they care about being rich. They budget carefully, they live below their means, they invest in assets, not appearances. I'd rather own my business than a BMW, said one self-made millionaire. And that's the difference. Fake wealth wants validation, real wealth wants freedom. They ask themselves, will this purchase make me money or take it away? That one question changes everything. So why do people fall into this illusion? Because deep down, they crave approval. They think wealth means status, not security. Society teaches us that success means big cars, fancy houses, and designer clothes. But the truth is, most millionaires became rich because they ignored that message. The more you spend to look rich, Stanley warned, the less likely you are to become rich. True confidence doesn't come from possessions, it comes from control. Control over your money, your time, and your choices. The illusion of wealth isn't just a financial mistake, it's a mental trap. When you spend to impress, you lose focus on what really matters, your goals, your growth, and your freedom. And once you start chasing appearances, you can never stop, because someone will always look richer than you. The rich build assets, the authors remind us. The poor and middle class build liabilities and call them assets. If your lifestyle depends on monthly income, not investments, you're not wealthy, you're vulnerable. So how do you escape the illusion and build the real thing? 1. Spend less than you earn. It sounds simple, but it's rare. 2. Avoid lifestyle inflation. Don't increase spending just because your income grows. 3. Invest before you upgrade. Earn returns, then reward yourself. 4. Don't compare. Focus on your progress, not others' appearances. 5. Remember, real wealth is quiet, fake wealth is loud. If it screams success, the authors joke, it probably isn't real success. So now you know, looking rich and being rich are two very different things. The illusion of wealth might impress people for a moment, but real wealth gives you freedom for life. But here's a question that will make you think. If fake rich people waste money trying to look successful, and real millionaires live quietly building freedom, what happens when you combine both worlds? Can you enjoy life and become wealthy at the same time? In the next chapter, Balancing Enjoyment and Discipline, we'll reveal how millionaires enjoy their money without destroying their future. We've learned that real millionaires don't waste money showing off, but that doesn't mean they live sad, boring lives. In fact, they enjoy life deeply, but in their own smart and balanced way. So today's chapter is about one of the most important millionaire secrets: how to enjoy life while still growing rich. Because the goal isn't to live cheap, it's to live free. When people hear about frugal millionaires, they imagine people who never spend, never travel, and never enjoy life. But the authors Thomas Stanley and William Danko discovered the opposite. Most real millionaires do enjoy life, but they do it intelligently. They spend on things that bring value, not vanity. They don't say no to enjoyment, they say yes to wise enjoyment. As one millionaire said, "I don't buy to impress people, I buy to express my values." They choose quality over quantity, purpose over pleasure, and control over chaos. Millionaires understand a simple rule. It's not about how much you spend, it's about why you spend. They don't buy things to fill emotional gaps or social pressure. They buy what improves their life, not what defines it. If it doesn't make my life easier, happier, or healthier, I don't need it, no matter how shiny it looks. That's why they invest in education, experiences, and family memories, not fancy brands or trends.
They spend with purpose, not impulse. Here's something interesting the authors found. When millionaires do spend on luxury, they do it strategically. They don't buy a car to impress the street. They buy it after ensuring their investments, savings, and emergency funds are secure. Quote, "I reward myself after I've earned it," said one millionaire. Not to feel rich, but to celebrate discipline. That's their mindset. They let success fund enjoyment, not emotion fund regret. Every luxury purchase is backed by logic, never by impulse. Many people think budgeting means cutting joy, but real millionaires see it differently. They budget for joy. They plan for travel, dining, gifts, and hobbies, but they never let those things control their finances. Quote, "My budget gives me permission to enjoy life without feeling guilty or stressed." That's the difference. They don't let enjoyment become an excuse. They make it part of their plan. If you visit a real millionaire's home, you might be surprised. No gold walls, no diamond chandeliers, no private jets. But what you will find is comfort, peace, and freedom. They prefer a homemade meal with family over a 5-star dinner for show. They value quiet mornings over noisy parties. Quote, "Luxury is peace of mind," one said, "not a label on my shirt." It's not that they hate nice things, they just don't need them to feel successful. That's true emotional wealth. Real millionaires pass this mindset to their children. They don't want spoiled kids who depend on money. They want responsible adults who respect it. So they teach gratitude, hard work, and patience. Quote, "I give my kids everything they need, but not everything they want." They want their kids to earn pride, not entitlement, to enjoy wealth, not abuse it. That's how real generational wealth survives, through wisdom, not waste. The truth is, money is emotional. If you save too much, you feel deprived. If you spend too much, you feel guilty. That's why real millionaires find harmony. They know when to hold back and when to enjoy. They don't see money as an enemy, they see it as a partner. Quote, "Money is like oxygen. You need it to live, but it's not the purpose of life." Millionaires use money to create memories, support dreams, and buy time, the most precious luxury of all. The authors summarize the millionaire lifestyle in one simple formula: earn more, spend less, invest smart, enjoy wisely. Let's break that down. 1. Earn more. Keep learning, growing, and building value. 2. Spend less. Live below your means, not below your happiness. 3. Invest smart. Make your money work harder than you do. 4. Enjoy wisely. Celebrate milestones, not moments of weakness. That's how they stay motivated without losing control. Quote, "Freedom isn't about buying everything. It's about not needing everything." In the end, real millionaires don't save money to die rich. They save so they can live rich in time, health, and peace. They enjoy a cup of coffee in the morning knowing their future is secure, their family is safe, and their life is under their control. Quote, "Discipline doesn't limit your joy. It protects it." That's the secret balance. Live smart, live free, and let wealth serve you. So that's the real truth. Millionaires don't sacrifice joy for money. They build money that supports their joy. But here's something powerful to think about. If discipline creates freedom, and freedom creates happiness, what's the next step after financial success? Do millionaires stop when they're free, or do they find a new purpose beyond money? In the next chapter, Beyond Wealth, the purpose of a millionaire's life, we'll uncover what truly drives the richest people once money is no longer their goal. So now you know the secret. Most millionaires aren't flashy, they're financially free. They don't buy to impress, they buy to progress.